Hey everyone, it is Dani and welcome to this updated video this morning on what is going on across the Caribbean. A lot of heavy rainfall is expected across some areas today, and so I hope that you are all doing really wonderful. And before I go into details, please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so and tap the bell so that you never miss an important update. All right, and so we are now taking a look back at the North Atlantic, and we can see here that there is a lot of activity going on across some areas. We see that shower and thunderstorm activity out there associated with the remnants of Cindy. Still a 30% chance of redevelopment within the next 7 days for the system. But heading to the Caribbean, there we see lots of activity, and a tropical wave is also in the area approaching the eastern part of the basin. So there's lots going on, and a lot of rainfall is likely today that can trigger flooding. So let's take a closer look at some areas here. We're zooming in closer, and here we see lots of showers and thunderstorms within the area. And we'll be taking a look at the rainfall maps from the GFS and Euro very shortly. But now let's go ahead and move on to some other areas. We're going to northern South America now, so extending a bit southward, and we can see that lots of activities also noted within some sections of Colombia, Venezuela, especially going to southern Venezuela, and some parts of Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana as well. But some activities clearing up over in French Guiana. For the ABC Islands, there isn't much going on right now. However, there is a chance of some rainfall as we head to later today. Going over into the Western Caribbean, here we see that most Central American countries are being impacted by all this activity. There's still that tropical wave within the area, and hence lots of instability right now. So that is why there is so much activity over there, and it is going to be persistent for some time. So going from the Yucatan, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama, all these areas will be experiencing a lot of rainfall today. Looking into the vicinity of the Cayman Islands, we're not seeing much over there. So maybe you guys notice some overcast skies as the sun rises, and a similar story for Jamaica, maybe with some rainfall in some areas, but nothing crazy going on. Cuba is in the clear right now, as well as for most of the Bahamas, but we do see some shower and thunderstorm activity just to the west of Andros Island. Going over into Hispaniola, we see some showers and thunderstorms across southern Haiti, but for most other areas, not much activity. And then heading to the northeastern Caribbean, there we see all that shower and thunderstorm activity in the vicinity of the Virgin Islands and parts of the Leeward Islands. Now a trough, the same trough extended from the remnants of Cindy is extended into the Caribbean. So as a result, there will likely be more rainfall for the northeastern Caribbean as you're going to be heading throughout today compared to yesterday. So we're going to be taking a look at the rainfall maps very shortly, but let's now go ahead and take a look briefly over in the Eastern Pacific, where we have our two disturbances. So that first disturbance there given a high 90% chance of development, and for the other an 80% chance. So still a very high chance for both of these to develop into the first two storms of the season, Adrian and Beatrice, later this week. And so I won't be focusing on these a whole lot, but they're close in proximity to land, and it is always good to know what is happening out there. So I will cover them briefly as required. And so now let's go ahead and take a look at the rainfall maps, and we're starting out with the GFS model. And as this becomes more colorful, the rainfall expected is much higher. So there we have the key over to the right side of your screen to help guide you so that you know how much rainfall the different color shadings represent. And this goes out to around tomorrow morning, and GFS is forecasting that most of the rainfall will take place within the vicinity of Central America, Northern South America, and the Eastern Caribbean. So there will overall be a lot of rainfall across the Caribbean region and the surrounding areas today, but those aforementioned areas will receive the most rainfall. Now going to the Greater Antilles, there will likely be some substantial rainfall across some areas. GFS expecting that it will be for most of Jamaica, going to Cuba and Hispaniola and Puerto Rico as well, even up to the Bahamas, and even touching parts of South Florida. So that is what the GFS model is expecting. Not much for the ABC Islands, unfortunately. Going to the Euro now, Euro is showing something a bit similar, but expecting more rainfall for the for the northeastern Caribbean islands. As I said before, there is that trough extended into the area, and that is going to help to induce a bit more rainfall for those areas as well. And so guys, throughout today, it's likely that the rainfall is going to be developing head into the afternoon hours, and as such, if you're going to be out, please ensure that you have your umbrella, have a jacket with you in case it gets pretty cold, and please just stay safe. And if there are flooded roadways, do not attempt to cross them. So it is important that the necessary steps are always taken to protect life and property. So I'm hoping that everyone is going to be okay today in the midst of all of this rainfall activity that is anticipated. And so that is what I wanted to share with you guys in this update. Be on the lookout for another update this evening. And I hope that you found this video to be quite informative. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will respond as best and as soon as I can. And remember to always be weatherwise.